there's been a lot of people just asking me, Vash, Bobcat versus the Wraith, which is better? And I'm like, I didn't want to do it because in my mind, this is an absolutely nonsense argument. You're comparing the greatest close range monster gun in the history of the game to a really long range AR. But everyone wants me to do this video. So here I am. Let's talk about it. Bobcat versus the Wraith. Okay, so right off the bat, the Wraith has no chance in this fight at all. Like, this is a wash. The Bobcat is insane. It's the best gun in the entire game's history. Just no question. And I'm going to show you exactly why. Now, this doesn't really mean all that much, but we're going to look at the DPS straight up. 79,000 DPS versus almost 80,000 DPS versus 59,000 DPS. Not even close. The time to kill on the Bobcat completely annihilates the Wraith. Like, just blows it out of the water, man. Like, oh my gosh, this gun is just murder. Like, and it's not even, that it doesn't even begin to show you just how. It's actually way more than that. It's way more than 80,000 versus 59,000. So let's start out by talking about why the Wraith is good. Because the Wraith is a great gun. I mean, I don't want to dump on the Wraith. The Wraith is a fantastic weapon. It's so good. I mean, one, it looks amazing. It looks so cool. It's one of the coolest looking guns. But not only that, it's a great gun. It is a silenced weapon. Like all silenced weapons, it has a 20% base crit chance, which augments up to 48% once you legendary god roll a crit rate perk on it. So the highest crit chance you can possibly get on any gun. Thing has a 345% crit damage. So that's like, you know, the real big shining strength of that gun is really the crit chance. That is what makes this gun shine. If anything, it's that. The gun fires extremely slow. It is painful, but it augments, you know, the slow fire rate with you know, pretty high damage per shot, making it so that if we were to calculate, you know, which weapon is going to do more total damage, if you fire the entire clip into a wall, then of course the Wraith is going to win. But that doesn't really matter because we're looking at time to kill. You know, total damage per mag is super irrelevant. I mean, it's great that it has that, you know, going for it, but you know, all that matters is time to kill. How fast are you going to take something down? How fast are you going to kill a target? And yeah, the Wraith suffers. You know, it suffers because of that really terrible fire rate. But it's got crazy range. It's got 5,120 range. The Wraith has sick range. So if you're sitting perfectly still, sitting up on a sniper post, and you're just like, you know, ripping shots down into enemies, you're going to do quite well. This thing, you know, it has like mega bloom issues, but the bloom issues are a lot less noticeable when you're able to sit perfectly still and not move. If you can just sit still, not move, and just keep rocking shots, then you know, it's a super, you know, it's pretty accurate, right? It's pretty good. The bloom is not that bad, but unfortunately, you know, that's not the reality of how most battles play out. You can't just sit in one spot and shoot with a 5,000 range. You know, that means enemies are going to get too close. It's not a sniper rifle, right? You can't kill things from sniper rifle range, but you're just going to have a really nice long range. Yeah, so it's great. It's a great gun. Don't get me wrong. I love it. The range is great. It fires from long range. It hits like a truck. It's great on ammo. That's one thing that people probably really love about this gun is its ammo consumption is super awesome, right? Because it fires slow and hits hard. So the ammo efficiency is really good. You don't have to farm for ammo. That's awesome, right? It's not really relevant in when it comes down to what makes a powerful gun, but it is a really nice perk. Also, the reload time is not bad on this gun. 2.3 is very reasonable, right? It's a full second faster than the Bobcat, which is, you know, extremely noticeable. So it's a big deal. The impact is also pretty nice too. So you can, you know, you can stagger things a little bit, but again, that's not really a big deal because you're going to kill most targets before stagger is really much of an issue. So the magazine size is about the same, but I want you to keep in mind that in order for the magazine size to be neck and neck, you actually have to put a magazine size perk into the Wraith. That is a very big deal. The higher damage, the higher headshot, the critical chance, and the critical damage, all of that is higher than the Bobcat. But all of that, even the mag size and the range, all of these stats, the reload time is better, the impact is better. At first glance, you may be like, oh, this gun's way better. But it's not. Because the fire rate is atrocious. The fire rate is so bad. So all of these high, everything's in the green, that's because it fires so slow. And that's why the DPS is so awful. Because it fires so slow. So the thing to know with the Wraith is that it goes even further than just the stats. There's another really massive factor that you guys need to be aware of, and that is the gunplay. Now, the Wraith is one of the worst bloom ARs in the entire game. Not taking into consideration like LMGs. Those are, that's a different style of gun entirely. LMGs have, huge bloom. But compared to like the ARs, like the Siegebreaker, the Knock, the Gravedigger, all the other 4,000 range ARs, the Wraith has the worst bloom out of all of them. It is just terrible, especially if you're moving. God forbid that you actually have to be in combat and move around the battlefield and try to shoot and run. The bloom is a nightmare. It's so bad. It's so bad. You're gonna miss so many shots, trying to if you're trying to actually run around and run and gun. It's a big problem. Whereas the Bobcat has the tiniest bloom, the most accurate laser beam fire in the entire game. Man, there isn't an AR in the game that is more laser than the Bobcat. We're comparing the polar opposites. We're comparing the worst bloom in the game to the best bloom in the game. The Bobcat is a laser beam. You will hit every headshot without even trying from literally any range. Even when you're well outside the optimal range of the Bobcat, when you're losing tons of damage due to damage fall off being outside your max range, you're still going to hit headshots because it's that accurate. It is crazy accurate. So that is a huge plus to the Bobcat, which a lot of people don't really think about, because when you look at the numbers and you just see, oh, look at all that green, right? You're forgetting, the weaknesses of the Wraith, and you're forgetting the strengths of the Bobcat, because all of the weaknesses of the Wraiths of the Wraith is the strength of the Bobcat. So fire rate on any weapon, the faster a gun fires, the better that gun is. It gives you incredible like crit variance combat. Like you basically, the slower a gun fires, the more noticeable and negative the impact of crit variance on a weapon. The faster the weapon fires, the less noticeable crit variance is. The more it normalizes and evens itself out so that you never overkill targets. You never have wasted time shooting at a target. You just go, dead, as opposed to, bang, bang. Ooh, I overkilled that target. Bang. You'll notice it really bad on like an obliterator. When you're firing an obliterator, you're like, headshot, no damage. Headshot, no damage. Headshot, no damage. Oh my, come on, crit already. And then by then you've done barely any damage, but you've chipped him down, and all of a sudden you're like headshot and crit, and you overkill him by like an insane amount, but the actual time to kill on that target is terrible because you took like 4 shots to kill him. Other times you'll be like headshot dead, headshot dead, headshot dead, right? The crit variance is aggravated by the speed at which you shoot your gun. The faster you shoot, the better crit, the more crits on your side. The slower you shoot, the more disruptive crit variance can be, and the more damage loss you will actually sustain. That's another huge advantage that the Bobcat has over the Wraith. Here's the other thing to be aware of on the Wraith. This is something that a lot of people don't take into consideration, but the Bobcat is crazy, right? It does insane damage and has an insane fire rate and insane time to kill. And one of the biggest reasons for that is, oh, look at that there. Damage to slowed and snared targets. So these guns are essentially identical, except that the Bobcat has one more perk than the Wraith does, because the Wraith has a dead perk, has magazine size. Basically, this gun only has 4 perks compared to 5 perks, because the Bobcat already has 50 mag size compared to 52. They had to waste a mag size perk on the Wraith just to make it neck and neck with the Bobcat, whereas the Bobcat gets, oh, what's that? 45% bonus damage. Wrap your brain around that. 45% bonus damage. That is insane. That is an absolutely ludicrously insane amount of damage. And it's just bonus. It's straight on top of already being a way higher DPS weapon right out the gate to, oh wait, we didn't even calculate for slowed and snared, right? These things both have 1 crit rate. They both have 2 crit damage. They both have energy. The mag size doesn't count because the mag size you just needed to get the mag size just to put it neck and neck. Then we got the Bobcat sitting on this massive, insane 45% damage bonus. And you wonder why the Bobcat absolutely melts the living face off of everything. It's because this gun is nuts, man. It's the only double crit damage gun with a 45% damage bonus on top of it. Like the Silent Spectre can't say that. Look at the Silent Spectre. Silent Spectre has the same problem. It's sitting on a mag size perk. The mag size perk puts it at, oh, that's right, just neck and neck, 52. So that means the Bobcat is sitting on a completely extra, an extra crit damage. In this case, it's got a crit damage perk that the Spectre doesn't even have. So you look at that, it's like, oh man, look at that, 320% crit damage compared to 210. So yeah, the Bobcat is crazy, man, because the Bobcat has its cake and eats it too. The Bobcat has everything that everyone has and more. The Bobcat is unstoppable. The Bobcat is just the most insane close range damage weapon in the game. It doesn't matter if you can sit on top of a roof and snipe lots of damage at some mist monsters while you're, standing perfectly still in a perfect, case scenario. The Bobcat is good in every situation forever. You can go run right into a spawn location and have things spawning all around you, and the Bobcat will just kill everything. Just absolute. Every time you get a whole wave spawn on you, the Bobcat will kill every single target, and then while you're waiting for it to respawn on you, you reload your gun and get ready to do it again. The Bobcat will tear a Smasher's head off way faster than a Wraith can. Wraith can't compete. Wraith can't kill as fast as a Bobcat can kill. It's crippled. Like look at the time to kill, man. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's completely out of its depth. It's out of its league. Yeah, you got the range, and the range is cool. And if that's your thing, and if you love long range combat and you love being safe, and that's awesome, man. Totally awesome. I'm not hating on the Wraith at all. Wraith is a great gun, and for the people who like to sit back at long range and play safe, and and kind of have like a snipey-ish type assault rifle, then yeah, by all means, go for it. But I tell you right now, if I'm sitting on top of my base sniping, I'm going to be using an Obliterator. I'm not going to be using a trashy Wraith. Obliterator can shoot through shields, man. Obliterator can blow heads off of anything. You can just like, oh, what? You got a shield? Dead. Oh, what's that? Shoot you in the head, blow you up, kill everything around you, headshot explosion, dead. What's that? You have an energy bubble around you. Oh, whatever. Headshot, explosion. Oh, the energy shielder is dead, and everyone else is dead. Just clear, boom. Now that's long range, man. That's long range. The Bobcat is the master, the god of close range combat. And you can always be fighting within your optimal range. Anyone who's ever watched my stream and has ever seen me use the Bobcat, it's a gross experience of me just abusing power that is nonsense. It's just a nonsense amount of power. It's just like abuse on such a drastic scale. It's just like everyone's like, what the heck? What the heck? It's just shock and awe. Because you just run straight in and just murder everything. Nothing can stop you. Nothing stops the Bobcat. You just kill everything. Nobody has ever been blown away by the gameplay of the Wraith. I have people steal my guns all the time. All the time. It's part of my show. I encourage people to do it. I'm totally happy to have people steal my guns, and hang out with me. And I have people steal my Bobcats constantly, all the time, all the time. Everyone wants a Bobcat because everyone knows it's the best. No one has ever stolen a Wraith and been like, oh my god, that's the best gun in the whole universe. But guess what? That is every person who has ever stolen my Bobcat. Every person who's stolen a Bobcat cannot stop gushing over the absolutely stupid, overpowered garbage that is the Bobcat. It is so insane. It is so insane. The Wraith is it's not that. The Wraith is a fantastic weapon. It's the jack of all trades. You can fight in close. You can fight long. But you'll never be the best. If you want to go and rock a Spectre and an Obliterator, or, the Bobcat and an Obliterator. Basically, the Obliterator is always going to be your long-range weapon of choice, not the Wraith. The Wraith has no chance. He's not, you can't compete with something that can shoot through shields. And when you are up close, you don't have to worry about shooting through shields because you can just walk into the shield and then kill everything and just absolutely slaughter. You walk in close, you throw down your shockwave, all the shielders are dead, and then you just completely lay waste to the entire army. Whereas the person with the Wraith is sitting up there like, no, I can't hit anything because the shields are blocking me. Beep, beep, beep. And you're like, ah, dang it. So when it's in its element, the Wraith has some really great advantages. It's a long range, it's good at long, it's good at short, it's good at everything, but it is the best at nothing. And it has some glaring weaknesses. And the bloom is terrible. The fire rate is terrible. The gun has some problems that you can work around, or you can just use the best guns. I always laugh when people are like, oh, the Wraith is the best gun in the game. No, it's not. Not in any universe, ever. The Wraith is a great gun. But the Wraith is a jack of all trades. It is not a specialist. It is not the best at anything. Not one thing. There's nothing the Wraith does that another gun can't do better. It's just a really good all-purpose, all-around gun that looks awesome, sounds awesome, feels awesome, is awesome in every way, but is completely overshadowed by better guns that specialize. And that is why the Bobcat is the king, because the Bobcat is the ultimate specialist weapon. It puts all of its eggs into walking up to your face and just melting it right off. It is basically the bundlebuss for all-purpose use. The only weapon that can outperform a Bobcat is a bundlebuss, but the Bobcat can kill everything, where the bundlebuss can only kill the big things. You're not going to shoot normal little husks with a bundlebuss, but you can with the Bobcat, right? The bundlebuss is min-maxing to an even greater degree to fight one specific thing, the biggest, fattest target that you can fight. And then a lot of time, I'll be rocking the Bobcat and the bundlebuss because, let the traps kill the little guys, use the big killers for the big guys. So you go to fight a smasher, you shoot a smasher in the face, you kill, that your next bundlebuss shot is going to overkill like crazy to an unnecessary degree. You just pull out the Bobcat, finish him off, and then kill everything else around you. Because the Bobcat does it all. The Bobcat is just the king of destruction. There is no bad time to use the Bobcat. If you run in and you fight, you'll kill you just walk through enemies like they're made of nothing. You know, whereas you know, all these other guns are designed to do all these different things. The Wraith is just it doesn't compete. It doesn't compete. It's not even, I don't even see why people are talking like the Wraith is even a contender. The time to kill is too slow. This is a great ammo efficient, super long range, super high damage, great crit damage synergy weapon, good for rocking the sledgehammer. But the Bobcat is good for everybody. You can put a Bobcat in the hands of a person who is not a soldier. You can give it to an Outlander with no support perks whatsoever in combat, in assault rifle combat, and the Bobcat will still be the best. It'll still be the best weapon. It's just the best weapon, period. It's like you can like talk about like the Terminator, which I have, you know, said the Terminator, the new #1. Yeah, Terminator is crazy. But the Terminator is dependent on running a very, very specific set of heroes to be the best. Where the Bobcat is just always the best. It is just give it to anybody, be the best. If you gave the Terminator to an Outlander, the Terminator is not going to be the best. It's got way too many weaknesses. You know, the reason why the Terminator is so great is because of Bulletstorm and Crackshot. Those two characters elevate the Terminator to a godlike status. But the Bobcat was always a god and will always be a god, regardless of what you're using. And depending on what you're using, you can take that god status just higher and higher and higher. It's just a catch-all, close range, melt everything into dust god of war. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you understand my point of view of why I say Bobcat's the best. Why, you know, I wanna make it clear that I'm not trashing on the Wraith. I love the Wraith. I still use the Wraith from time to time, but you know, this is I want to be really clear on why the Bobcat just outshines this gun, and why, you know, I say this is the best when everyone's, you know, there's a lot of people who just love the Wraith so much that they don't want to hear it. They want, and I want to explain. I want to make sure that they know I'm not coming after them. I'm not hating on their gun. You know, your gun's awesome. Your Wraith is awesome. It's a great gun. But I want you to know why the Bobcat is the god, and why everyone loves this gun so much. Because it's not for everybody. Not everyone's gonna like being a close range murder machine, right? Not everyone wants to get that close to the combat. You know, there's different kinds of players who like different kinds of play styles, and the Bobcat's not going to be for everybody. The Wraith, I would argue, is for everybody. The Wraith is the greatest catch-all, jack-of-all-trades weapon. It's one of the best, you know, everything weapons in the game. You can give that gun to anybody for any situation, and they will rock the face off of that, you know, whatever it is. It's amazing. It's a great gun. I love the Wraith. So this is just a commentary on why the Bobcat is the king. Maybe not the king for everybody, but definitely for the VASH core. All right, guys. I really hoped you were entertained by this this breakdown of the Bobcat versus the Wraith. It's a lot of fun to do. I love talking about all these numbers and all of these strategies and comparisons, and all these, you know, we're arguing over the semantics of guns we all love. You know, these are all fantastic guns. We love these guns. We love this game, and yeah, thank you so much for inspiring me to make all these crazy videos. It's just a blast, man. It's a blast. I'm so proud that you guys are a part of my community, a part of my world. Thank you so much for being a part of the VASH core and having my back every step of the way. You know, our YouTube channel wouldn't be blowing up the way it is without you guys. Thank you so much. All the love in the world. Thank you for the support. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Throw that thumbs up, ring that bell, and leave some comments, man. I love reading the comments. I want to hear what you guys think about this video. I want to hear what you think about the guns. Let's have a debate. Let's talk. And yeah, if there's any other video reviews you want me to do, let me know, man. Let me know. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time.